Hello, friends. Today, the 9th of December, I am once again paying tribute to the martyrdom of my cousin, Second Lieutenant Samir Chandawarkar, who died fighting in the 1971 war for Bangladesh. Samir was a young tank commander who fought on these PT-76 amphibian tanks, which have been featured in this film called Pippa, which is available on Amazon Prime. He was from the same 45 Cavalry. Samir's troops fought valiantly, won many a battle, but sadly were ambushed in their last battle and were tortured to death by the Pakistan army. Samir earned a Sena Medal posthumously for his valor and bravery. In this video story that follows, which was done 2 years ago, we got many of Samir's army colleagues speaking about his bravery and valor. Sadly, Colonel, Harshvardhan, one of Samir's buddies, is also now no more. He was there with us in 2021. So don't miss this episode. Good afternoon, General Batra. The first question is to you, and that is you were Lieutenant Chandawarkar's squadron commander in the 1971 Bangladesh war. Can you tell us a little about his leadership qualities?
Yeah, sure. First thing, I'm lucky that I was the squadron commander. I carry some very, very pleasant memories of our days together. Sam, as I recall him, was a very quiet, smart, and handsome cavalry officer. My first meeting that I had with him, I could make out that he comes from a very good family background, had good schooling, and had correct value systems in life. As far as his leadership qualities are concerned, Sam was very close to his command. His men liked him because he spent most of his time training, playing, and eating with them, and spent quite a bit of time looking after their welfare. And he knew each and every boy from his troop very well. And that's a very basic quality of a leader, that is to know your command and know your people very well, because then they start loving you. They hold you in a lot of affection and values. So that is one very good quality he had.
Thank you, General. So, General, I'm coming to one very important question, and that is, before the Kushtia battle. So, Lieutenant Chandawarkar had to face General Barar, General Raina, and Brigadier Jail Singh. Such a trio of senior officers who finally gave him the order, to take his 3-tank troop into the battle for Kushtia. And this despite Lieutenant Chandawarkar telling them that he had Mukti Bahini information, which told him about strong Pakistani army presence in Kushtia.
This action, Rahul, would be reminiscence of charge of the Light Brigade. There also, wrong orders given by commanders led to the massacre of troops. It was a tragic thing which happened and repeated itself. Sam was very right when he advised them that the tanks should not lead the advance, and infantry or even Mukti Bahini boys should be sent earlier to check if there is any enemy or not. Because having seen Kushtia myself, it was a built-up area, wooded. On both sides of the road, the land was very marshy. The tanks or even the infantry could not get off the road. But unfortunately, his advice was not taken. That's a sad part of the whole thing. And so therefore, like a good soldier, once he was ordered to move, he moved. And I would also say here one thing, that even he knew that there could be problems, yet he led the advance himself. His was the leading tank when he took both the troops and moved into there. All that I can say, it was destiny which played a very important role in his Sam's life. If I may have a minute to say, there's a beautiful Punjabi saying, "Maa janmendi sat, karam na dendi wand." That means a mother gives birth to her children, but she is not responsible for the destiny. In this case also, I think destiny played foul with us because he took away Sam from us. We were the losers. Maybe God had something better for Sam.
So we move to Colonel Nitin Chandra, who is now from the 45 Cavalry and a military historian, who's researched many battle in Bangladesh and especially battles involving Lieutenant Chandawarkar. And he's going to recount to us some of those battles. So I'm going to invite him, over to you, Colonel Nitin.
Thank you, Rahul. It's very kind and it's a great opportunity and an honor to speak in an August forum like this, where we all looked up to Sam because he was a classic case of a leader leading from the front. The war was fought on PT-76 tanks. Just to show you what a PT looks like, this is a PT-76 tank as seen from the rear. The tank here is doing a flotation exercise where it is going across a river. These are the water jets which propel it. The tank was classic because it could even fire while afloat. This is a PT-76 tank which is under camouflage. It is ready for battle. You can see the tank crews ready to go into action. Okay, now coming back to the battle. Sam and one more troop, that is number 3 troop of Alpha Squadron, were told to go to Kushtia along with 7 Infantry Division, which Brigadier Jal Singh was the command. So once they came from Janida, when they reached Kushtia, this is the location where the ambush took place. The moment the tanks crossed, the first tank crossed, they reported uncanny silence in the village. That is where Sam decided to take things in his own hand and he moved his tank to the front of the complete column. Column moved up. That is when the fire came from the blocking position or the ambush which had been set up by the Pakistani squadron of 29 Cavalry. The ambush was a success. Sam's tank got a direct hit. The number 3 tank got a direct hit. We lost 7 of our crew members, including Sam and 1 JCO, in this tank ambush, and about 14 people were able to, the tank crews were able to extricate themselves. Kushtia was Sam's last battle. He fought well, he fought like a tiger, he fought like an officer, he was an officer and a gentleman. He lived by the gun and he died by the gun.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions. One is that it's well documented. We asked General Batra about Lieutenant Chandawarkar's tragic end through torture by the Pakistani army, and not just him but the 2 JCOs with him. Can you throw a little light on that about the torture?
Yeah, it happened like this. Firstly, there's no denying the fact that the torture took place because the way the bodies were recovered, they had ropes around the feet. Obviously, they were captured alive. Otherwise, dead bodies would not have ropes around the feet. And the way their bodies were lying, there were clear cases of body mutilations.
Thank you for those inputs, Colonel Nitin. Thank you very much. Colonel Harshvardhan, good afternoon. Tell us, you were a troop leader like Lieutenant Chandawarkar in the same regiment, in the same battle sector. So can you tell us about some anecdotal memories, please, what you remember?
The first time I met Sam was in Armored Corps Sentence School, Ahmednagar. I was doing my bios and he was doing his bios. We both overlapped. But that was about a week or 10 days. And then the clouds of war were already there. So we moved to Konk area, somewhere near Krishnanagar. My memory is hazy, exact places, names I wouldn't know. So, and that is where we formed a bond, because that was the first time we were together. Before that, he was in the regiment, I was in the course and all that. And there, like all 21 years old or 22 years old used to dream about things, what will happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Harshvardhan. And, I must appreciate the fact that you joined this session despite undergoing a major heart surgery, a bypass surgery just 10 days back, So I admire your spirit as a soldier and as a good buddy.
Thank you.
We appreciate this. Thank you very much. Brigadier Ajit Apte is an artillery officer. He was also in the same battle region. Brigadier Apte and Lieutenant Chandawarkar were schoolmates at the famous Scindia School, Gwalior. So I want him to recount some school memories or even memories as young officers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Rahul. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'd say about Sam. In school, he was a very fine boy, as General Batra says, a very dashing, smart boy, and good friends. Even I was instructor later at the Officers Training Academy in '79. So I interacted with a lot of people who were there, instructors with me, and I think one of them was Sam's postmate. So I did hear good things, and I think that's the best way to pay homage to a very fine budding leader, a great gallant officer who gave everything for the service of the nation in the highest traditions of the Indian Army. He made the supreme sacrifice, is what I can say. Seema, be proud of your brother.
Yeah.
I know you are his youngest sister. Your respected mother has also gone. But all I will say is, proud of your brother. He was a very gallant officer who led from the front, as General Batra has mentioned. He made the supreme sacrifice for the nation.
Thank you, Brigadier Apte. Thank you very much. I'll move on to Brigadier Mehta. Brigadier Mehta has written an excellent book called The Burning Chaffies. And the question to Brigadier Mehta really is, he was Lieutenant Chandawarkar senior in the same cavalry, in the same regiment, 45 Cavalry. He coincidentally went to receive Lieutenant Chandawarkar at the railway station when he came to join the regiment. So, it's a very interesting situation, and I wanted Brigadier Mehta to recount any memories from that specific incident and,
Thank you, Rahul. Rahul, first of all, my compliments to you and to Seema, as also the officers present, for organizing this talk on Zoom on a day which also happens to be the Darsana Day that the regiment celebrates as a battle honor. And certainly, there is a major part which was played by Samir Chandawarkar in this, which the regiment continues to, rejoice every year, because this is a battle honor, and this the most glorious thing that the regiment was able to achieve in the 1971 war. And this is really dedicated to the squadron commanded by Major General Batra, then as a major, as also the two other officers who form part of this Zoom call today. Now, coming back to the question that you raised, I can share in a small forum like this, be very frank, and share with you that I never thought very much of the crop of direct entry officers and short service commission officers who had recently joined the regiment. So I had my own reservations when I was asked to go down to the railway station, because all that I knew at that particular point in time was that another short service commission officer was going to join us. But I had to perform that particular duty. And when I landed up there, at the very first meeting itself, I was a little taken aback, because here was a young man, smart, well-dressed, and very, very cheerful. Normally you would expect that there would be a certain degree of shyness or trepidation. No, nothing of that particular nature. Confident, he walked up, introduced himself, and soon we got talking on our ride back to the officers' mess. During that little limited journey, maybe a couple of minutes, I was able to share and ask him a few questions. And when he mentioned about his father being in the army, he was quite straightforward and honest. And he mentioned the circumstances under which the sad accident of 1962 had taken place. He spoke about his younger sisters and his mother. As soon as we reached the officers' mess, he did a quick change. And I then took him over to a function that was being conducted at Brigadier and Mrs. Gulati's house. It was a regimental get-together. Now, the ease with which he was able to, then the confidence level gave you all clear indications that he must have been a born Cavalier. Because when he was introduced to the other people and he sat around and met them and joined that particular group, it became evident to everybody that here was a young officer who's going to spend a lot of time with the regiment. And in the years ahead, he will, one day stand up to command this particular regiment. What I also remember about this particular get-together is that at the end of it, I think everybody had virtually fallen in love with this young man. Once again, coming back to where I started, compliment, because in 50 years, and that is a credit that goes to Rahul and to Seema for putting this whole thing together and making it a document. And I hope you send a copy of this to the regiment also. And that also on a day, which is the biggest event as far as 45 Cavalry is concerned. Thank you.
So finally, I come to Seema, that is, my cousin and Lieutenant Chandawarkar's youngest sister. So Seema, tell us, I'm going to share a photo also, but tell us what you remember about your doting brother,
Actually, I was the youngest in the family, and Samir and Kanchan, my elder sister, they were very, very close, very, very close. And I was a little tot, I was a little brat, and he used to be always, teasing me, and he used to tease me a lot. And yeah, he used to, that's Kanchan, and that's me in the court, and that's Samir behind me in Mathura. We were in Mathura together. And I remember just before he went to the war, he used to love that song, Bedame Musho. That's an old song. And he used to play the guitar beautifully, the guitar. And he used to sing too. I remember him singing that song, Bedame Musho, before he left. We had a little get together before he left.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this time spent and all those anecdotes and all the kind words